You know, I guess I'm just going to have to turn this into questions and answers. So who's got a question?
What are your thoughts on Bitcoin?
You know, blockchain technology is really interesting, and I think that somewhere, 100 years, 1,000 years from now, historians will look back at the period of time where computers were developed, the internet was developed, and blockchain technology was developed, and that will all be seen as like one moment in history where everything changed. And it's very powerful, except it can be used for good or evil. And the thing is, if it's a distributed full consensus network, blockchain technology, which Bitcoin is, for instance, there's millions of computers all over the world running the same ledger, double checking each other. They're not all owned by the same company or entity. That is something that can be used for good. But if they digitize the monetary system, and even if they're using blockchain technology, if there's a single entity running it, it's blockchain technology running on a central bank's computers or the government's computers or whatever, and not running on everybody's computer with some sort of incentive for people to run it, like Bitcoin mining, then it can be used for evil, because they can shut you off as a person, flick you off, just like a switch. You have no access to the monetary system, even to buy food. You just suddenly don't exist. And that, to me, sounds pretty dangerous. They can track everything you're doing and everything you buy, everywhere you go, and I don't like that. Yes, I do. Very small amount. I didn't mention it yesterday during the panel because I don't really consider it the amount that I've got right now an investment. We were going to do an episode for Hidden Secrets of Money, and probably still are, on Bitcoin. We went to a conference, learned a lot about it, filmed a lot of interviews, and then Bitcoin took a huge plunge and everybody lost interest. So other episodes of Hidden Secrets of Money took precedent to that.
Before smartphones were invented, and to this day, if there is probable cause to think that you have abducted a child, or that you are engaging in a terrorist plot, or you are guilty of some serious crime, law enforcement can appear before at your doorstep and say, we have a warrant to search your home, and they can go into your bedroom and into your bedroom doors and rifle through your underwear to see if there's any evidence of wrongdoing. And the question we now have to ask is, if technologically it is possible to make an impenetrable device or system where the encryption is so strong that there's no key, there's no door at all, then how do we apprehend the child pornographer? How do we solve or disrupt a terrorist plot? What mechanisms do we have available to even do simple things like tax enforcement? Because if in fact you can't crack that at all, government can't get in, then everybody's walking around with a Swiss bank account in their pocket. All right? So there has to be some concession to the need to be able to get into that information somehow.
Thank you for inviting me to participate in your forum. I wish I could be there in person to take part in the discussions you'll have over the next few days. If we were building a financial system from scratch today, we'd do it on a digital platform. Digital can lower the cost of a range of transactions by as much as 90%, providing nearly universal access to innovative financial products and services. Unfortunately, we don't have that luxury of starting from scratch. So we have to show not only the vision to plan for this better digital future, but also the wisdom to manage a secure transition from the current system. It's a big responsibility, but with more than 2.5 billion people not able to get at formal financial services, the opportunity compels us to do it. Poor people do have assets, their intellect, their labor, their savings. The problem is that they don't have financial tools to capitalize on these resources. They're trapped in an inefficient cash economy that robs them of opportunities to insure themselves against risk, invest in their productivity, and ultimately to help lift them out of poverty. Innovations like vaccines and high-yielding crops have changed the future for billions of people. We're on the cusp of another breakthrough innovation, including the poorest in a financial system that increases instead of limiting the value of their assets. Transforming the underlying economics of financial services through digital currency will help those who live in poverty directly. It will also support a host of other development activities, including health and agriculture. I see two priorities for the immediate future. First, we need to drive the policy changes to make sure the poor can get engaged at this level. And second, we need a measurement system that tracks the progress towards drawing people in, not just to have accounts, but to really benefit from financial activity.
The market economy will control its own interest rates. Guaranteed. It did before the feds arrived, and it will after they're gone. And whether or not the Libertarian Party or someone else abolishes the Fed, it's a moot point, because cryptocurrency is coming. I promise you. It may or may not be Bitcoin. It may be something else, but it is coming. It is like the Pandora's box that has been opened. You will never get that idea back in the box. And when it comes, the Fed will disappear. The paper money will be gone, and the world will be in crisis for a while. It's the absolute truth. Governments will not be able to collect income taxes because there will be no record of any income for anybody. It will be a very, very strange state of affairs, but it is coming. And when it does, shortly thereafter, there will be no Fed. It cannot exist in the world of cyber currency. I mean, we're in the world of digital transactions and the digital glue that holds everything together. Do you think that paper money or a gold standard has any meaning whatsoever in that world? It does not.
All right, well, let me get your thoughts on the economy more broadly. I mean, this is
the need to move money from place to place, the cost of doing so, the overhead, as you put it, makes me think, believe it or not, of Bitcoin, because some people have said, hey, Bitcoin is the answer to those problems. Are you a believer?
Well, Bitcoin is exciting because it shows how cheap it can be. Bitcoin is better than currency in that you don't have to be physically in the same place. And of course, for large transactions, currency can get pretty inconvenient. The customers we're talking about aren't trying to be anonymous. You know, they're willing to be known. So the Bitcoin technology is key, and you could add to it, or you could build a similar technology where there's enough attribution that people feel comfortable. This has nothing to do with terrorism or any type of money laundering.
The need to move money from place to place, the cost of doing so, the overhead, as you put it, makes me think, believe it or not, of Bitcoin, because some people have said, hey, Bitcoin is the answer to those problems. Are you a believer?
Well, Bitcoin is exciting because it shows how cheap it can be. Bitcoin is better than currency in that you don't have to be physically in the same place. And of course, for large transactions, currency can get pretty inconvenient. The customers we're talking about aren't trying to be anonymous. You know, they're willing to be known. So the Bitcoin technology is key, and you could add to it, or you could build a similar technology where there's enough attribution that people feel comfortable. This has nothing to do with terrorism or any type of money laundering.